Nigel Farage is considering running for Mayor of London, but could he really win? The news today is that Nigel Farage is considering running for Mayor of London in 2020. So Sadiq Khan, who replaced Boris Johnson, the Labour Mayor of London, of course, has not exactly been great. He's not hugely popular with a lot of people, but also there's a lot of people that would vote Labour regardless of who the candidate is. We always say up north you could stick a red rosette on a pig and people up north would still vote for it. And the same's true in London. Sadiq Khan is the Labour candidate and therefore he gets the Labour vote. But, you know, the crime has skyrocketed, knife crime has skyrocketed, the prioritisation of police resources has been called into question under his leadership. He's a nightmare. And there is room for someone to take his place. Now, the Financial Times reports today, Mr. Farage, who lives in Bromley in South London, quit as leader of the UK Independence Party in July 2016, weeks after the UK voted to leave the EU. He is still a member of European Parliament, but will lose his position when the UK leaves the EU next March. Mr. Farage, who has stood unsuccessfully for Parliament 7 times, but has been elected 3 times as an MEP, said the London mayoral election in May 2020 would be an opportunity to make arguments on a high-profile platform. Quote, "I have been encouraged to stand by a group of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to," he said. "I haven't said no to it, I'm thinking about it. The Tory party are very actively aware that if I did stand, they would probably come third, and they are afraid of that," he added. They also reported that a senior Conservative official had said that Downing Street was braced for electoral embarrassment if Nigel did stand for mayor because, well, they think maybe the Tories would come second. And you know what, I think it's the case that the Tories could be embarrassed by this. I'm not sure, however, if he would actually beat the Tories. I'm not sure if Nigel Farage would actually come second. I think he'd do very well. There are Tories in London and there are Brexiteers in London. They are a minority, but they're there. But I don't think that most of these people would vote for Nigel. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because the Tories aren't popular right now, but neither's UKIP. And it's certainly not as popular as it was in its heyday. And frankly, nor is Nigel Farage. And there's another question here. Would Nigel stand as an independent or would he stand for UKIP? Because there's been some bad blood between Nigel Farage and Gerard Batten. They've never really been good friends. I think that's pretty public knowledge. And they are quite different on policy. Batten's gone down this route of talking about Islam a little bit more. And Farage doesn't like that. So, you know, would Farage really stand behind Batten on this one? I'm not sure. And also, there's 2 years to go. This is 2020 we're talking about. Batten actually even publicly attacked Leave Means Leave, which is the organisation that Farage is involved with, that's campaigning for a proper Brexit. It's like the Brexit referendum all over again, because Batten said that you need more than just a pro-Brexit campaign group that's going around the country. You need to do something that's actually going to change things, which he thinks UKIP can. So if Nigel ran, what do you think? Do you think he'd stand as UKIP? Would he stand as an independent? And do you think that he could beat the Tories, or could he beat Labour? It's my personal opinion that London won't see a Conservative mayor ever again. The demographics are completely against that. The city is less British than ever, and so a party that defends British values is not going to succeed. It might have a large minority supporting it, but it's never going to reach the majority ever again, I don't think, unless somehow the Tories have some amazing candidate. Maybe Boris Johnson could still do it, I don't know. Actually, maybe not after Brexit. I think people voted for Boris not because he was a Tory, but because he was a bumbling buffoon that people just seem to like for some reason. The Tories don't have any great candidates. Have you seen this guy, Andrew Boff, that's running for the Tories with his hashtag, I'm backing Boff? I mean, apart from the fact that his name means fart, the guy's boring. He actually held a youth Q&A. Now, is there anything less off-putting to young people than an event with the word youth in it? Who goes to those? Who goes to those events? And it was funny, actually, on his Facebook event page for that event. It was a picture of him with a bicycle helmet on with his bicycle, like, looking cool. You know, he's... Come on. The Tories have got nobody inspiring at all. And I think Nigel knows this, and he's probably just using it as a way of pressuring the Tories. They've got nobody very good. They're backtracking on Brexit with the Chequers deal. So maybe Farage is using this at pressuring the Tories. This is something that he's done excellently for many years. If he puts the fear of God into the Tories that they might be embarrassed in the mayoral election, then they might shift. And combine that with the fact that he's doing this work with Leave Means Leave, it could be just what the Tories need to be pushed in the right direction.
If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, remember to like and subscribe.